Never stop reading Bible.
And today, we're diving into Psalms 81 through 85.
That's right. Let's jump in with Psalm 81. The notes identify it as an Asaph psalm, often used in big festivals.
Yeah, the material links it to tabernacles, maybe Passover too, especially with verses 6 to 8 talking about the Exodus. But what's really highlighted is its category, a wisdom psalm.
Wisdom, how so?
Well, it really hammers home this idea that, true blessing flows from fully obeying God. It contrasts that with Israel's failures, particularly during the Exodus.
Ah, okay. So celebration linked with a reminder about obedience. The material mentions two parts.
Exactly. Verses 1 to 5 are like the festival song, the call to worship. And then verses 6 through 16 shift. It's the Lord speaking directly.
So the worship sets the stage for hearing God's message. That makes sense.
Right. It's not just about feeling good. It's about preparing to listen and respond to God.
Okay, moving from that to Psalm 82. This one's also by Asaph, but the focus shifts hard towards justice. God standing among the rulers, the gods.
Yes, this one is pretty dramatic. It emphasizes God as the ultimate sovereign judge. But the source is stressed that God actually delegates the work of justice, on earth to human rulers, judges.
And the point is?
The point is their accountability. The psalm teaches, according to the material, that these leaders must follow God's will. They have to defend the poor, the needy, the oppressed.
It sounds like a divine courtroom calling earthly power to account. Still feels very relevant. The structure outlined is God confronts them, states their duty, judges their wickedness.
Then there's this sort of judicial declaration against them, and it ends with a plea for God to judge the whole earth. It forces you to think about what truly just leadership looks like.
Right. Then Psalm 83 changes gears again. This is a communal lament, when the people felt existentially threatened.
Yeah, by foreign enemies. Enemies who, according to the psalm, want to completely destroy them. It's a desperate situation. The notes even suggest a possible link to the events in 2 Chronicles 20.
With that huge invading army.
Exactly. And the psalm lists, 10 different enemy nations? It really underscores how overwhelming the threat felt. Assyria's even in there.
So the prayer is for God to step in forcefully. The material breaks it down. The cry for God to act, describing the enemy plot.
Then recalling God's past victories, like against Midian, as a reason to have hope now, and finally a renewed prayer for God to defeat these current enemies.
Using past faithfulness to fuel present hope in a crisis. Powerful stuff.
Definitely. It connects God's character across history.
Okay, complete tonal shift with Psalm 84. A pilgrimage song, full of longing for the temple, often called a masterpiece.
It really captures that deep human yearning for God's presence, symbolized by the temple. The sources suggest it's likely pre-exile because it talks about your courts,
right,
like the temple still standing.
And the core feeling is
that just being near God, even for a day in the temple courts, is better than anything else. It covers that intense desire, the blessings pilgrims find, a prayer for the king, and this deep sense of blessing in trusting God wherever you are.
It's like finding security in God, not just the building. Is there a forward-looking aspect, too?
Yes. The material suggests there's a hope pointing beyond the physical temple, maybe towards the New Jerusalem, that ultimate eternal dwelling with God.
Interesting. Lastly, Psalm 85, attributed to the sons of Korah, likely post-exile, after the return from Babylon.
Right. Picture them returning, but Judah is desolate. It's not the glorious homecoming maybe they expected. So the psalmist prays for full restoration, based on the grace God already showed by bringing them back at all. The material really highlights this tension. They know things aren't right, spiritually or physically, but they have this confidence God will finish the restoration.
So, looking back at grace, wrestling with the present, hoping for the future, the themes reflect that. Acknowledging past favor, lamenting the current state, praying for revival.
Expecting God's salvation, and then this beautiful vision of future, complete blessing, righteousness, and peace meeting, faithfulness springing up from the earth. It focuses on the land and the people.
It really grapples with that gap between partial return and full restoration.
Exactly.
So bring this all together for you, based on the material provided. These psalms, though ancient, touch on things we still deal with constantly. Wisdom through obedience, the demand for justice, coping with conflict and fear, that deep desire for connection with God, and navigating disappointment while holding on to hope for restoration.
The show of faith that's not afraid to be honest about life, the good, the bad, the ugly, but keeps turning back to God. This deep dive was guided by material from the Center Studio.
Thank you for joining us.